Welcome to BaseballGuys.com. I'm Ray Flowers. As I sit here on Friday afternoon looking outside the window here in California, it's raining again. I know there's a lot of people out there that have snow, horrible weather, so it's not like I'm going to really lament the fact that the weather's been bad, but it was nice the last couple of days to have a bit of sun. On the baseball diamond, there are a few players who have seen the sun, and there are a few others who are living in that world of bad weather. Let's go through a couple of them here on the Around the Horn report at BaseballGuys.com. First players, Michael Wuertz, submitted an arbitration figure with the A's. Instead of going through that process, they met in the middle somewhere. We don't quite have the dollar figures at this point, but the bottom line is he agreed to a one-year deal with the A's. May not seem like a big signing for some of you out there who aren't in the know, but remember this. Last year, his strikeout rate was about 11.7 per 9 innings, and that was fourth best in all of baseball amongst relief pitchers. Great force, great backup there behind Andrew Bailey, someone to turn to if they have some trouble late in games. Jermaine Dye, still looking for a team. No end in sight to where he's going to go. We have no idea what's going to happen. Teams are still being mentioned. A team like the Padres is still supposedly in the mix. We had a report that came out today that he was offered $3.3 million, basically the exact same deal that was given to Xavier Nady, to be that fourth outfielder with the Cubs. Dye still holding out, thinking he deserves a chance to be a full-time player after all his success recently. Looks like teams are very nervous about his defensive deficiencies, as well as the fact that he absolutely disappeared in the second half last season. Jermaine Dye still got a 25 home run bat if someone will give him the at-bats. We'll have to wait and see if that happens. Next player, Orlando Hudson. He wants $9 million. No one's going to pay him $9 million. He continues to negotiate with the Nationals. There was a report earlier today from Tim Kirchin that they've offered him only $3 million. Hudson's still the best second baseman left on the market. What happens to him determines what happens to Adam Kennedy and Orlando Cabrera. Cabrera has been made an offer by the Reds. He's thought to be choosing between the Reds and the Rockies. Rockies are obviously a better team. Reds are a position where he can play every day. Paul Yelich is there at shortstop. Not a good option. Can't hit at all. Orlando Cabrera, if he could play good enough defense, would probably be personally more suited to going to the Reds. Though again, going to the Rockies, he might get a chance to play for a little bit better team. Back to Hudson. We're hoping to have something worked out by the end of this weekend. Negotiations continue to go on. It really looks like he's going to be one of these players that slips through the crack, and a player who contributes in all facets of the game, but just can't find the right fit for him to get his big money deal. Justin Verlander, he's on the verge of getting a big money deal, it looks like. The 5-year, $78 million contract that was signed by Felix Hernandez has really set the baseline for young starters. Guys like Tim Lincecum, Justin Verlander, obviously very interested in that. Early reports are that the Tigers have offered 5 years, about $75 million to Verlander. Verlander apparently wants a 6th year. We'll have to wait and see how this situation comes out. You have to think that the deal will get done sooner rather than later. Remember, in 2008, Verlander had real struggles at times. He lost 3 or 4 miles an hour off his fastball. He'd probably be very well served to take that deal, if indeed it is on the table, even if it's only a 5-year deal. Eric Byrnes, staying on the West Coast. He's not coming to the Bay Area. He's not returning to where he grew up to play for the Giants, as some people had hoped and wished. Instead, he'll play for the Mariners. Still, again, West Coast, just a little bit up in the Pacific Northwest. He'll get a chance to be the fourth outfielder there. They're paying the minimum to him in Seattle. Diamondbacks are on the hook for the rest of that money there. He can still bring speed, still bring excitement, enthusiasm, and exuberance to a lineup if he can stay healthy. Remains to be seen, though, as he reaches his mid-30s, if his body and especially those legs can stay healthy long enough for him to be a contributing factor. Though, again, at the veteran minimum, it's a great move for the Mariners. They're not really putting anything in here. Dustin McGowans, another injured player. He had shoulder injuries. He had shoulder surgery. He missed all of last season. He got up on the mound and threw well, according to reports here early on. Great news for the Blue Jays. Still don't know what to really expect from McGowan. Don't know if he's got any shot whatsoever of being effective, in April or May or even before the All-Star break. But the fact that there were concerns about him ever pitching in Major League Baseball again has to be waylaid by the good news that he's been on the mound, hasn't suffered any setbacks, and he looked pretty good this week. And then finally, we're going to close out with Johnny Damon, just like Orlando Hudson and Jermaine Dye, another player looking to sign a big money deal, just not happening. Reports are now that the Yankees apparently offered him $6 million last week for a 1-year contract that he turned down. Don't know if those are verified or not, but if he was indeed offered that $6 million, he might wish that he had taken it. Reports that are circulating, again, unconfirmed reports, are that there are very few teams willing to go even $4 million with Damon. One of those teams might be the A's, might get a chance to return to Oakland where he had some success. Still waiting on Jermaine Dye, still waiting on Orlando Hudson, still waiting on Mr. Damon to find teams. And those are three quality big league players that could still shift the balance of power in Major League Baseball. I'm Ray Flowers, it's baseballguys.com. Thanks again for joining us.